It's kind of both. That's a good question, because we don't, I guess we do everything on purpose, but we don't do anything on purpose. It's the weirdest thing. So we source fruit because we know what kind of wine we would like to make, but we aren't going to force grapes to perform how they're not grown to perform, I guess. So in how we farm and how we source fruit and pick locations, and then how we process. We don't do anything to accelerate the aging of the wine. I mean, literally, it's as hands-off as possible. Mother Nature's going to decide. Some years we're going to be a little earlier to show, like a vintage like 17 is going to be a little showier or younger. A vintage like, say, 14 or 16 is going to take longer. But we always want to make sure that how we honor the fruit and in that processing, it allows the fruit to continue to develop for some period of time. I kind of think personally it'd be sort of a shame if when you bought that bottle of wine, if that was as good as it was ever going to be, because part of the beauty of wine is how it does continue to evolve. It's not just one day, it's a progression. And we're definitely not like old Bordeaux or something where you need 20 years to even think about it. But hopefully when people take it home, if you enjoy younger wines, they're going to be great in the first year, let them breathe for a little bit. If you like aged wines, man, these things are going to hold up for 10, 15 years, no problem.
I mean, we were still tasting our 2006 wines, and they're great. You're not, I mean, they might be at their peak, let's say, because I don't know if wine goes like this and kind of levels and then, like that.
Sort of tapers off.
It's not tapering off, let's put it that way. Yeah, and I think it's definitely, I don't know if it's a choice, but it's how you make wine. You don't.
It's a choice. I mean, you can definitely approach it differently, and that's kind of the beauty of it. Everybody gets to approach it in a little different manner. Hopefully what we've managed to do over the years is just kind of walk that line fairly well, where the wines are exciting and enjoyable and interesting and all those things in the first year or two or three, and then they're not tired, they're youthful and exuberant and beautiful 8 or 10 years down the road. So I think that's a pretty fantastic.
It's just like me. I mean, youthful and exuberant for 8 or 10 years.
8 or 10 years.
20 plus years down the road.
Probably not. I don't know. Again, you never want to say never, but it's something that the best expressions of them in the globally are unbelievable wines. But the characteristics that they're getting are unique to those places. And here, I don't think that we're probably going to make the wine that we would want to drink necessarily. So again, kind of sticking to the mindset that we make what we like to drink. I don't think that our area is going to give us that particular style of wine. So we'll probably stand clear of those, I would think.
Well, there you go. They're all Pinot Noir.
There you go. That's the note. They are all Pinot Noir. Yeah, all 100%.
Yeah, they're all 100% Pinot Noir. Yeah. There's 3 different vineyards. Yeah. One's a blend. I would definitely say the thing that combines them all is their texture. I mean, that's one thing that Scott always hits on, is how it feels in the mouth. So they're definitely silky, wonderful mid-palate, front to back expression of wine for the Pinot Noir. But on the vineyard side, I'm going to let you talk about that, but on each difference. And I think through our segments on each of the wines, we do try to highlight that as well, like what we get from the Biennacito versus Solomon Hills versus Dubrita. Yeah. But you want to give it a quick...
Yeah, well, I think you kind of nailed it, honestly, is that I think the aromatic presence of the wines, of each of the 4, and if you take the 3 vineyards specifically, dramatically different.
Right.
I really think that it highlights the differences aromatically, flavor profile as well, but the commonality, the thing that does tie them all together again, is that texture. Right. I think that they really, they're true to their varietal, they're true to their place, but they have this kind of signature weight to them that's not cumbersome or heavy, but it's present. It's viscous and rich and beautiful without being too weighty. And so I think that's probably, we mentioned in Toto video about that kind of salinity thing. I think that ties them together a little bit. But they're definitely unique, very different sites. And I think that they show that, but they don't stray or they don't deviate too far from being, torn or logger lines.